Welcome to Sports Bet Daily at oddsmarket.com. It's NFL Week 12 and we're getting to the business end of the season. You better make sure that you put up or shut up because your playoff berth could go right out of the window. And we've got some massive matchups. The best matchup I've got at the moment, though, is Spread and Jay. How are we, boys?
I'm doing great today, Flash. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really excited by some of these games. And there's a couple of teams that may want to backdoor this wild card position. Jay, I'll start with you. Did you get involved last night in the Houston game?
Yes. We were on the over. We lost that, but we had a bunch of props in the Texans passing game that we managed to cash. We had like 7 winners, I think, on the game total.
Which is always nice. I saw a lot of people on the Titans passing game. They knew their fate very early on, Spread.
Yeah, that's true. I saw one of your winners, Jace, was the DeAndre Hopkins over, and that was a fun touchdown, the one that got him for you.
Yeah, longest reception prop, yeah. Live line's up 25 units since Monday.
Well, let's hope by next Monday it's up a lot more. I mean, we've got a great big... and obviously I can tell people that obviously follow the live line. On Monday night, myself and Jimmy will be obviously with the team. But we're also going to be with the team on Thanksgiving night. We're going to do the final game. Really excited for that one. I think it'll be an absolute cracker. I think it's the Saints and the Falcons. So there'll be no love lost. And I fancy that there'll be plenty props for us to just... pick and choose from. Let's crack on. I'm going to start with you, Spread. Broncos +4 at the Bills. Total points 37.5.
Boy, that's a low total, huh? Well, I'm going with Buffalo Bills here, and my main reason for the handicap is the Broncos' offensive line is beat up. They had 3 of their 5 starters miss practice yesterday. I do expect them to play, but they're obviously not 100%, and I think we're getting to the point in the season where the Broncos constant coming close, coming up short. It's kind of weighing on them mentally. And this is going to be the toughest defense that Brandon Allen is going to face, not Josh Allen. We have the battle of the Allens here. But I really like Buffalo at home here. I think they're going to run their ball. Their offensive line is looking fantastic. Bad offensive lines don't travel. And Denver has a beat-up offensive line. They're not going to be able to compete with Buffalo in basically what's going to be a smash-mouth old-school football game.
Yeah, and the other thing that goes with an old smash-up football game is normally the weather. And I hear the weather is going to get a bit dicey in quite a few states over the weekend. Obviously, I'm going to mention a couple of them as we go along. Jay, just quickly, anything Broncos, Bills?
Yeah, I lean with the Bills here. They look solid against the Dolphins, but everybody did. I have been impressed with Broncos backup quarterback Brendan Allen. He cost me money last week against the Vikings. And, his first road start, he looked pretty good, even though they blew that lead. I lean with Buffalo here, but it's a pass for me.
Yeah, and all those that are wanting to go with Buffalo, one of the biggest positives are that they need to backdoor that wild card place. Okay, move on. Steelers -6.5 at the Bengals. Total points 39. Steelers on the road, giving up nearly a touchdown. Jay, are you going to go with the Steelers?
Well, there isn't much that I see changing in this game from the first time that these two teams met at the end of September. Both offenses are as bad as they were the first time they played. Cincinnati might even be worse. Their first meeting, they had the Red Rocket playing at quarterback. In that game, combined, those two teams put up 30 points. I see this game going the same way, 27-7, 27-10. And that sneaks under the posted total of 38. I think that Vegas dropped this number in hopes that everybody would stay away from the under, and I'm not going to do it. I'll be on the under here at 38.
Yeah, I think if you have a look around, I mean, as of this morning, I think 39 was available.
Well, right now, you can get 38 at Pinnacle at -109.
Okay.
Live right now.
Okay,
at SBR odds.
What, there's no 39 available anymore?
No, 38's across the board right now.
Wow, that's only changed in the last maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go under there then, under the 30, under 38 now. Wow, these markets are moving. Maybe the weather is going to be bad all over the place. Spread, just a quick one. Steelers, Bengals.
I'm staying away from this game. I'm be curious to see how the Steelers look out without their center, Marquise Pouncey, being suspended. We know that center is very important as far as leadership goes for the offensive line, which is keeping me away from the side. Leaning towards the under, I like Jace's ideas there, and obviously with Pouncey being out, that would lend more to the idea that this game is going to go under. So didn't have an official play, but I like Jace's reasoning there. I think the under would be the best spot.
Okay, Jay, I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to go Panthers -10 at the Saints, and total is 47. I have a play here, but I'll wait for you.
I think the bloom is fully off the rose right now for Carolina Panther quarterback Kyle Allen. He looked like he might be an actual starting quarterback in this league, but he's looked pretty awful the last month of the year. I think they've dropped three out of the last 4 games. Looked absolutely dreadful last week against the Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Allen threw 4 picks, and even with the machine like Christian McCaffrey, the team still can't get out of their own way, man. I mean, they sit at 5-5 right now. My guess is that it will be 5-6 after this week. You know, the New Orleans Saints team, for all their trials and tribulations through the first 11 weeks of the year, here they sit 8-2, pretty much fully healthy, ready for another serious playoff push. They won 3 out of their last 4 games. Last week, they really looked to get their mojo back offensively against Tampa Bay. And I have to throw that game against Atlanta out 2 weeks ago, similar to how I threw that game that Dallas played against the New York Jets. Sometimes you just lay an egg in this league. It happens once or twice a year. The Saints are one of 2 teams right now in the National Football League that are in the top 8, both in offense and defensive efficiency. I think they show up and show out on what looks to be a lost Carolina Panthers team right now. I think that the Saints cover this 10, so I'll be on the Saints big.
Spread, anything from you?
Yeah, I like the Saints here too. Jace is right. Kyle Allen started 4-0 as a starter. He's gone 1-3 since. 4 interceptions last week, 3 of them in the red zone. That's not good, and we know the Saints defense is going to be raring to go. Saints always play well at home. One thing that the Saints have done to improve is they're going back to a more of a rushing attack. They have a very high success rate, 55% success rate according to Pro Football Focus on running attacks. They kind of got away from it in their upset loss to the Falcons, and they got back to it last week against the Buccaneers. I expect them to stay on the ground, expect a lot of Kamara, expect a lot of Latavius Murray, and I expect the Saints to cover the spread here.
Yeah, I've gone Saints -9.5. Got it in early on Tuesday afternoon. I also like the under 47. I can see this being maybe a 35-7 or something mad like that. I'm happy to give up 2 touchdowns, to be honest. So although I'm on at 9.5, I think I might go all the way up to maybe 13.5, 14, depending on the juice. I think the Saints. Yeah, they just put them to sleep, to be honest, and they just run some plays, just maybe even to test out against a very, very weak and sleepy Panthers. Okay, this is a game I couldn't believe anyone was interested in, but you are, Spread. Jags +3.5 at the Titans, and the total's 41.5.
I love the Titans here. The Titans are 20-6 in their last 26 home games. They're a much better team at home. They've looked much better since Ryan Tannehill took over. And Nick Foles and Leonard Fournette are not good together. Fournette likes to run out of a pro-style I formation where he can get moving forward before he gets his first contact. Foles likes to go out of the shotgun. It's not working. You can see that last week as Fournette only gained 27 yards in their most recent loss. Tennessee looks great. They're off a bye. Tannehill's pushing the ball down the field. I really like the Titans here. This is my favorite game of the week. I got the Titans.
Wow. Any thoughts, Jace?
Yeah, I hate the Titans, but I think I have to agree with Spread. I really don't like this football team at all. But the last month of the year, they've looked rock solid. They get the big win against the Chiefs. The only team that they've lost to in the last 4 weeks was against the Panthers on the road. And I thought that Nick Foles would come out and look a lot better than he did last week. So I probably won't bet the game, but if I had to pick a side, somebody gave me a free bet, I would be on the Titans.
Okay, I think you don't trust either of them, but obviously the Titans giving up the 3.5. I bet they go and win by 3. Don't cover the spread. Okay, that's just the typical Titans. They'll find a way to get beat even when they win. Okay, the Bucks +4 at the Falcons. Total points 51.5. I look at the Falcons a little bit like Baltimore, kicked into gear. Baltimore threw in that very bad performance earlier on in the year, blown coverage everywhere. They go against the Patriots. Their season lights up, and now they look like the best team in the AFC by an absolute country mile. The Falcons go to the Saints, do exactly the same, and now they look the real deal. So, Jay, I'm going to I know it's not one of your games, but are you going to trust the Falcons giving up 4 at home to the Bucks?
No, but I'll tell you, I do think we're going to see a lot of points. I think this game probably flies over 51. The offense has not been the problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. Winston makes a lot of mistakes, but he also makes a lot of completions, man. He's thrown for over 300 yards in the majority of their game. Points have not been a problem for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The last 5 weeks, they've put up 30, 34, 23, and 26. I think you're going to see, I don't know if this is the Atlanta team that we were supposed to see the entire season and they just finally woke up, or if the last 2 weeks were just an anomaly and they are closer to that awful start. But no matter how good or bad this team usually is, they usually put up points at home. So I think they hung that 51 out there for a reason, and I think that this game is going to get up and over that total.
Yeah, the one thing that worries me is Jameis Winston was very ginger a lot of the game last week. I'm wondering how fit he really is, because he wasn't as mobile as normal when he was coming off after the outs. He was like really, really ginger. So I'd like to get a grip on how he is very early on in the game. I've gone Falcons. I think the Falcons have kicked into gear, especially at home. They go in that Colts category of playing at home. I'm giving up the 4 against the Bucks, but I'm with you. I think it goes over as well. Spread, Bucks, Falcons.
Same thing. I'm on the over. So what happened with the Falcons 2 weeks ago? Dan Quinn shook up his coordinating staff. And at the time, I kind of just brushed it off as just kind of a move to save his job. But it seems to have worked because they played better since they switched up the coordinators. But I'm looking over here. I'm not even going to try and choose a side. I can't believe that these overs for Tampa aren't sitting at 55. Every game they've played this year has averaged like 57.5 points. The over has gone 6 out of 7 in the last time that the Falcons and the Bucks met. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have gone over in their last 8 games. I keep waiting for an adjustment from these books. I keep lining these games at around 54, 55, and they keep coming in at 51. And I'm going to keep taking Buccaneers overs until they make the adjustment to get to where this team should be.
Okay, so if we're going on the total at 51.5, Jay, we're probably looking at the team totals of the Falcons around 27.5, and we're looking at the Bucks at 23.5. There might even be a couple of props to have over in both of them.
If you look at the scores of these games, since September 22nd, 32-31 Giants, 55-40 Bucks, 31-24 Saints, 37-26 Panthers, 27-23, 40-34, 30-27. I mean, these scores are absurd. He's right. I can't believe these totals aren't sitting at 55 at this point.
Yeah, what about
I think both these teams probably get over their team totals.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. If someone wanted to just maybe go over team total and cheer them on, you are probably looking at 27.5, 23.5. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it does go over, but I'm happy to give the Falcons or give the Bucks 4 points, and I'm going to edge with the Falcons and think they're the real deal. Okay, here's a game that's going to be split. down the middle. I mean, you've got the Seahawks are now +1.5, opened at +3. At the Eagles, and the total points is 48. Spread, start me off.
Yeah, so I didn't play this game. I lean the Seahawks, but I don't want to play it because everything seems situationally to point towards the Eagles here. The reason I don't want to play the Eagles is I just don't want to go against Russell Wilson at this point. Seattle's 5-0 on the road this year. I don't think they'll go undefeated, though. They're going to have to slip up at some point, which is funny because Seattle traditionally was not a good road team. They've improved that the last couple of years. Interesting aspect there, but situationally, the Eagles should be the play, but I don't want to go against Russell Wilson right now. I'm staying away from this game.
And what about you, Jay? You don't like the Eagles anyway, so have you found an angle on the Seahawks?
You know, Flash, I don't like the Eagles. They were gutsy last week against the Patriots. The Pats ended up covering that game, but you were right. That game was closer than I thought it would be. The total right now is sitting at 48 at Pinnacle. I think with as bad as that Philadelphia Eagles secondary is, I think that they can probably get up and over the total. As far as a side, I don't know. I mean, I like the Seattle team. They're 8-2. Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson right now is your MVP. But would it shock me to see the Eagles win as a 1-point favorite right now at home? No, I guess it wouldn't. And the money is going towards the Eagles. This line opens at 3 and is sitting at 1 right now at Pinnacle. So, I mean, the money's flowing towards Philly, which is, I don't know, scary probably because the public loses. So I guess my look would be on the over.
It's going towards Seattle because Seattle were getting 3, now they're getting 1.5.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's 66-34 at the moment. I mean, it's been a wait. But listen, I think come Sunday, again, if the weather's bad up that East Coast, also I think it's maybe the time. But I think that the Eagles, they're going to, I looked at the injury report earlier. There's a few boys that have started practicing again. We're going to have to wait and see who's available. I think Jeffrey's going to play. I think Howard's going to play. So, for me, I've gone with the Eagles.
Did you bet the game?
Sorry?
Did you bet this game?
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles -2. So I'm behind the 8 ball at the moment when 1's going to be available. I think this might even end up a pick'em, to be honest. But with the Seahawks, they keep games tight. And if they keep games tight, then you're always going to be in it. I think the Eagles, they look at maybe their roster of the last 2 weeks and go, right, we've got New England off a bye, but New England are off a bye as well. So how unlucky is that? They have maybe 3 or 4 injuries. And then they have the Seahawks coming to town. I think they would have, and looking at their roster compared to Dallas's roster or schedule in the next few weeks, I think that they think, well, we can get out of these 2 games 1-1, then we're in great shape to take the division. So for me, I'm going to go with the Eagles because they can't afford to fall another game behind. So yeah, I've got Eagles.
It could be a good spot for a live bet. I would not be opposed to watching the first half of this game, seeing how it unfolds, and possibly making a second half play based on what we've seen. Because I think you're right. Seattle always plays, whoever they're playing, these games are always close. And I think you're probably better off seeing how both these teams come out of the gate before throwing money down. But I understand why you're on the Eagles.
Yeah, because I'm stupid. That's why, Jace. Okay. Cowboys +6.5 at the Patriots. Got a strong play here, and it's getting stronger by the hour. Cowboys +6.5 at the Patriots, and the total was 45. It is 45.5, 45 in a place. It has been up at 46. So, Spread, you take me away.
All right, so I'm taking Dallas here. I think this line's a little too heavy for the Cowboys. I think it should be somewhere around +3, +3.5. I'm surprised the Cowboys are getting so many points. The Patriots' offense has not looked that good, which comes into play when you're trying to cover these spreads. I expect it to be a low-scoring game. Dallas has a great offensive line, good offensive lines travel, and the Patriots' main weakness this year hasn't been pass defense. It's been going against the run. So I think this will feed into what the Dallas Cowboys like to do. They like to start off with Zeke. That's how they like to set their game plan going, and I expect Ezekiel Elliott to have a pretty good day. Hopefully he's getting back in shape. He had a little bit of the burst last week, starting to look a little better. But I expect a really close game here, so I'm going to grab the 6.5 points with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, Jay, throw me some more light on this situation.
Everything that Spread just said is right. But if it wasn't for the fact that the Patriots were so good against the spread at home, I would probably also be on the Cowboys in this spot. On the surface, it seems like way too many points to give the number one offense right now in the National Football League. But then I think about these two head coaches, and I say, would it shock me if Bill Belichick out-coaches Jason Garrett by a touchdown, even though Dallas has the number one offense in the league? The answer to that question is no, 100% no, right? So I'm going to attack the game by a different angle. Do the New England Patriots have the number one defense in football? Yes, they do. But that has been against some awful offenses. We've seen them play against one good offense this year, and they got ran over. Are the Cowboys going to win this game? I'm not sure, man. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to score enough points to get up and over this total. They're going to find success on the ground with Zeke running behind a great offensive line, especially when you see what Baltimore did to the Pats on the ground, right? They're going to find success through the air because the Cowboys move the ball through the air against everybody. It doesn't matter who they play. On the flip side, the Patriots should not have a problem moving the ball on a very average Cowboys secondary. The line opens at 46. It's since dropped a point. Most of the time when I fade a market on a total, I'm usually right and the market is wrong. So I'm going to fade the market move here. I think that this game is going to fly over 45. Give me the over.
Okay, my strongest bet of the weekend is under 46, Jay. You'll be pleased to hear. and the reason is that... listen.
Here we go.
It's not nice. It gets worse for you. It gets worse. My people in Boston are telling me that really bad weather is expected around the New England area on Sunday. I also believe that Belichick will shut the run down and want the ball in Zach's hands. I would go team total under for the Cowboys. I can see them not even making 2 touchdowns. So for me, I've gone under 46. I took it early. I expect it to go under 45 as well, the market. But the big one for me is my friends in Boston telling me that the weather is going to be very bad come Sunday. So how much of the game...
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What makes you think, after watching what Baltimore did to that team, that they're going to be able to stop the run against that offensive line and that running back?
I just think he'll overcompensate. I think he will overcompensate. I think he'll just make sure he shuts that box down, and he will make sure that the only option they have is for Prescott to throw the ball. And if he throws the ball, you know that they go man to man. They don't go zone, so they'll pick him. I don't see the Patriots putting up 30 points, neither. I see them covering the 6.5, but not enough. Listen, you go against the Patriots like I did last week, and I end up just having wounds all over me. Not only did they beat me because I thought it'd go on the over, it went on the under. Not only did I give up the points, they went and beat that. I just feel as if 46, I'm happy to take that. I can see this maybe being a 24-10 or 20. Yeah, I would say 24-10 is quite nice. So I'm going to go with that. And the weather plays into my hands as well. So I'm going under 46, Jay. And good luck going against me.
I can't wait to watch that game now. Okay. I can't wait. Well, if I'm wrong, Flash, dinner on me, brother. Yeah. Dinner on me. I'm saying it now on the show. Dinner on me.
Well, as you know, you've had the Indian sign over me all season. So it's about time I got one back on you. So we're going to go Packers. Another great game this. Packers +3 at the 49ers. And the total point is 47.5. And we all have an opinion here. And I'm going to start with you, Jay, because you love these 49ers.
I do love these 49ers. If we realized anything about the 49ers in the last few weeks, it's that Jimmy Garoppolo needs his weapons in order to move the football through the air. Emmanuel Sanders, and more so, George Kittle are just a huge part of this offense. This team should be 10-0, right? If not for a missed field goal at the end of the game by a backup kicker. I find it really hard to fade this team at home at a short price, even against a team that's as rock solid as the Green Bay Packers. But if George Kittle is on that inactive list, I will fade the 49ers, and I will take that field goal on the road with the Green Bay Packers. And nobody's been a bigger supporter of this 49er team than me, but Jimmy Garoppolo looks really average without Kittle and Sanders, and more so Kittle. So I'm 80% sure that he will not play in that game on Sunday. And if that's the case, then I'm going to have to take the Packers +3.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I took the Packers +3. One, because obviously I don't think Kittle's going to play. I don't think that Jimmy G is going to get the job done. Obviously, I've been a massive fan of the Packers from day one of the season. And the big factor is they're all fresh, healthy, and off a bye spread.
All right. Well, Flash, it wouldn't be the Friday Sports Bet Daily Show if we didn't go against each other, right? I'm taking the 49ers -3 here. We always got to have one where we go against each other. Here's what I'm thinking on this game, right? Kyle Shanahan, he's hot young coach, dials up great plays. But you know what he does? It's old school, just like his dad. He likes to run the ball. And that's the Green Bay Packers defense weakness. They have a great secondary, but they have problems at the linebacker and at the line of scrimmage stopping the run. I think that Kyle Shanahan's going to give him a heavy dose of the run. Listening to the talk radio around here today, it sounded like Kittle was going to play. They were pretty optimistic. He was in practice yesterday. He's getting out there with the team today. Yeah. But who knows? I mean, that changes those things change all the time. But I'm thinking Kittle will play. Emmanuel Sanders will play. He just will have a limited role, still bothered by those ribs. That's going to be tough. I think that's going to be hanging on with him for the whole year. And also Aaron Rodgers, fantastic in Lambeau, right? Great winning percentage. On the road, he's slightly above 500. He's not the same quarterback on the road without that home field advantage. So it's more than the 49ers having a home field advantage. Rodgers just isn't as good on the road. I like the 49ers here to get back on track. I think the defensive line is going to give Rodgers a lot of problems. And I think Kyle Shanahan's going to dial up a heavy dose of the run, attack the Packers' defensive weaknesses, and the 49ers cover the -3.
Wow. Okay, I think that the Green Bay Packers would have looked at that film last week of what the Cards did, and the Cards moved them around for a second, 1.5 games because they didn't turn up in the first half of the first fixture. But I thought last week they moved that San Francisco D around really, really well. Many people open, and you give a Hall of Fame quarterback off a bye, them options, you're going to get hurt. Now, I think the weakness on the 49ers is the offense. So then I'm going to take, even if the 49ers do manage to scrape this, I don't think they cover. I think that 3 points goes down in the Packers' favour. And also the 47.5. I think that's going to be under threat as well. And I wouldn't put anyone off going over the top of that. But I think it's all about just getting a win here for both the sides. Now, the team that have just burst onto the scene and just blown everyone away. Ravens -3 at the Rams, and the total is 46.5. I'm going to tell you now, the Ravens for me, I said at the start of the year, they were 4-1 to win the division, 16-1 to win the AFC, and 33-1 to win the Super Bowl. And now they're -3, giving up a field goal against the Rams side, who I can't have them. I just can't have them. So for me, Ravens -3, Jay.
I just got done writing the Monday Night Football Sporting News article, and I took the Ravens too. And I'll tell you why. Over the last 6 weeks, 6 weeks ago, the Ravens were giving up the most yards per play in the National Football League. Fast forward 6 weeks, they are now a top 10 team in defensive efficiency, and that has made the difference for this team. We know Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson is going to probably win the MVP this year. We know that they can run the football on anybody. and Lamar Jackson does enough through the air to put that team in a position to win. On the flip side, we're talking about a team that was the defending NFC Championship team that just looks dreadful. They looked god-awful against the Chicago Bears. They were lucky to get that win against the Bears. And you're talking about a team that has Mitchell Trubisky as their quarterback that they had to pull to put in Chase Daniels. That tells you how bad that squad is. And they barely scraped by that team, Flash. The Rams are in disarray, man. Jared Goff is not the quarterback he was a year ago. At this time last year, he was the second choice to be the MVP of the league. This year, it looks like it was Sean McVay's system and not the skill level of this kid, because teams worked on the offseason against McVay's system, and they're stopping it now. And Jared Goff doesn't have the tools to beat it. So I think the Rams are in disarray. They're not going to make the playoffs. When you look at the NFC landscape right now and you look at the playoff picture, they are not going to get a wild card spot. I don't even think if they win 4 out of the next 6 games or 3 out of the next 5 games, however many are left, I don't even think that they make the playoffs. So I'm not. If you want to step in front of this Ravens train, go ahead. But me, it's impossible. So give me the Ravens.
Yeah, I can't believe it's just a field goal neither. Spread. It's obviously the last game. Ravens, Rams. You're not going to go near the Rams, are you?
No, I'm not playing this game. You know what? This is a great game for me. I can just jump on, watch some live line with you guys, tail a bunch of fun props, and you guys got making a great point for the Ravens here. Maybe I'll jump in on that too. Fortunately, I have till Monday when you guys fire up to decide on that. One point I'd like to make about Jared Goff is I don't know if it's as much the system as the offensive line. Goff reminds me of another quarterback we have up here in Northern California, Derek Carr, where if you give him time and you protect him, he is a fantastic quarterback. But the guy cannot handle pressure at all. I think that's been the difference this year. They've been unable to protect Jared Goff, and he just doesn't look good when the pocket breaks down. He needs a clean pocket to be effective. The Rams haven't been able to give him that this year, and I think that's been the difference in this team.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've nailed my colours to the mast. I'm going Ravens -3. And also, I'm going to try and steam into the sacks prop. Just like you said, I fancy they get through. Yeah. And the one thing about the Rams I've got to give them some credit for, they do have some pace up front in their D. So I think that they may get to Jackson as well, but I'm expecting the sack props to probably be one of the highest we've seen all season. Anything under 6, I think, is going to be an absolute moral. And on that note, have a great weekend, gentlemen, and Jay, I'll see you Monday night.
You got it, buddy.
Cheers, Spread. Good luck, mate.
Later, Jace. Later, Flash. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you very much. What a lot of fun that
Later,
is
bud.
going to be over the weekend when we have the Cowboys, the Patriots, we have the Packers, 49ers, and then Monday night we have potential Super Bowl winners, the Baltimore Ravens, going to last year's finalists, the LA Rams. Okay, that's week 12 wrapped up for the NFL. Coming up, we're going to have the lower leagues, and then, well, sit back, enjoy the sport worldwide. Take care.